What's up, y'all? It's another impromptu video. I promise this won't be as long as my last impromptu video, but I wanted to talk about today is background music in anime. Now, that is something that is very underutilized. Like, a lot of shows don't understand that if you have poppin' background music, your show can slap harder than anything on the face of the planet. A few good shows that have like pretty stellar background music, for sure I'd have to say Baka and Test has good background music, because it just it feels like kitty. Like when it's playing, you just feel like popping. You're like, yeah, this shit's nice. Sword Art Online, even though I think the anime itself slipped, I have to say that the background music slaps high key. Like, nobody realizes it, but that background music fucking goes hard. World God Only Knows, if you've never sat down and just listened to the World God Only Knows soundtrack, then I don't know what you're doing with your life, because the background music for World God Only Knows is so peaceful and surreal, and it snaps you into the scene. It's like when you hear the music, you can picture a scene playing out in the world of the World God Only Knows. Like, it's so crazy. It's like Pavlov's dogs, but with music. Another really good one is just lost it. I had it in my head and then I started rambling and I lost it. Damn. What's another good one, Kev? Oh, Orange. Orange is another good one. Orange is why am I playing fuck Orange? Nah, Your Lie in April. That show has a stellar soundtrack. Your Lie in April, the soundtrack itself makes me cry. If you've ever watched the show, then listen to the soundtrack separate from the show, and I guarantee you're gonna start to feel yourself well up, because those are some emotional pieces that had to have been played by some professional instrumentalists, because it's masterful. But one that I want to talk about that separates itself from the pack is Release the Spyce. Release the Spyce is an anime that I've talked about on here for, I'm pretty sure it was a Workout Wednesday or a Man Up Monday, either one of those. But I talked about the show because of the show itself. And I also talked about the opening and a little bit of the background music in one of my previous videos, the 4 best anime openings. But today I want to highlight just how fucking spectacular the background music is. Now, the reason why I say the music is spectacular is because it's so abnormal. The only other anime that I can think of with background music similar to Release the Spyce would be Parasite The Maximum. And I think the reason why I would call them so similar is because they're both dubstep heavy, trap electronic style background music. Parasite The Maximum, I think, differs from Release the Spyce in the sense that its background music almost has a more sad instrumental tone to it. So it has an instrumental track 1, and then they just threw a little dubstep trap beat underneath it to kind of make that pop and make you feel it a little bit more. That's not what Release the Spyce does. Release the Spyce almost feels like they went up to a DJ and was just like, yo, make it slap, son. Make it bang. Make the subwoofers blow out. Just give us something wild and just crazy. And the songs fit. It almost reminds me of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. In the movie, there are scenes where nothing is happening, but the music is popping off, just going ridiculous. And I think that's what Release the Spyce is, where they could be doing next to nothing and the fucking soundtrack is in the background just slamming, and you're like, yo, what is going on? They build up suspense so well in almost every scene, because you hear the instrumental come in the background. It'll be completely plain and bare, nothing happening, and then the instrumental starts up and you can hear it slightly, and you hear it slightly, and it starts to tick tick tick, and then it drops. And when it drops, you're prepared for something crazy to happen. The show itself is alright, but when you pair the background music to the show, you're like, yo, this show is amazing, because the background music makes you feel like it's intense, way more intense than it actually is. Kind of like the reverse of what I was talking about with the other shows, with World God Only Knows and Your Lie in April. You can subtract the soundtrack from the show and you feel that show in the soundtrack. Whereas with Release the Spyce, you're watching the show and then the soundtrack punches you in the face and you're like, yo, that shit's wild, it's crazy. It's just something that I noticed. It's something that I noticed that we don't take, we take for granted in anime, is the soundtrack. We don't think about how dope the soundtrack is, or the fact that if the soundtrack is butt cheeks, it'll really turn you off from the show. This is my third time talking about Release of Spyce, and I think that's like 2 times too many. The show's alright, but it ain't that good. So that's it for me. I'm getting out of here on this impromptu video. I think I talked for just as long on this one as I did on the last one, so whoops. Anyways, I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. You claiming that you with it, but nah, you ain't with it, dawg. Yeah. Yes, I'm committed. You want me to stop, but I never quit it, dawg. Hey. And I don't need nobody. Hey. But I want somebody. They all hate 'cause I'm all